My name is Cassandra Mills, and I'm 34 years old. At my brother's 30th birthday party last month, I gave him a watch. Not an expensive luxury brand, just a simple, meaningful timepiece that represented something important between us. He opened it in front of 60 guests, looked around the room with a smirk, and said loud enough for everyone to hear. The whole room burst into "Layali. You aren't Caroline." His friends, our relatives, even our parents smiled like it was all in good fun. So I stood up, walked over calmly, took the watch back from his hands and said 5 words. Good too. No, cantos. I'm done. Within 24 hours my entire family was calling, texting, showing up at my door, begging me to reconsider what I'd just done. Because that watch wasn't just a gift. It was a symbol of the one thing holding their entire world together. And I'd just taken it back. Before I tell you how one moment of public humiliation exposed my family's complete dependence on me, and changed everything forever, I need you to do something. If you've ever been the family member everyone takes for granted until you stop giving, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment with where you're watching from and the worst thing a sibling ever said to you in public. Your stories keep me strong. Now let me take you back to where this all started. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. My brother Derek is the middle child, and my sister Amber is the youngest. Growing up, the dynamic was clear. Derek was the golden boy, Amber was the princess, and I was the responsible one who made sure everything functioned smoothly. When Derek wanted to start a business at 22 with no experience and no plan, our parents emptied their savings to fund it. $50,000 for a boutique fitness studio that failed within 8 months. When Amber wanted to move to New York to find herself as an actress, they gave her 2 years of rent money. And living expenses. Another $40,000 that resulted in 3 commercial auditions, and a lot of Instagram photos. When I wanted to go to graduate school for engineering, they told me I was old enough to figure it out myself. I was 23. I took out loans, worked full-time, and finished my master's degree while supporting myself completely. The pattern was established early. They were the dreamers who needed support. I was the pragmatist who didn't need help because I had my life together. After graduate school, I got a job at an aerospace engineering firm. Started at $75,000 a year, which felt incredible after years of student poverty. Within 3 years I was making 6 figures. Within 7 years, I was a senior project manager making $200,000 a year, plus significant bonuses. I was also quietly and without much acknowledgement, the person keeping my entire family financially afloat. When my parents' house needed a new roof, they called me. $15,000. I paid it. When Derek's second business venture needed capital, he called me. $20,000. I invested, knowing I'd never see a return. When Amber's acting career stalled and she needed money to stay in New York, she called me. $500 a month, for 18 months. $9,000 total. When Mom's car died, when Dad needed dental work, when Derek's wife wanted a bigger wedding than they could afford. When Amber needed a security deposit for a better apartment, every single financial crisis in my family somehow became my responsibility to solve. I never made a big deal about it. Never kept score publicly. Just quietly wrote checks and transferred money and co-signed loans and provided the financial stability that allowed everyone else to take risks and chase dreams and live beyond their means. Over the course of 12 years, I calculated that I'd given or loaned my family over $320,000. Some of it was gifts. Some was supposed to be loans. None of it was ever repaid. Very little of it was ever truly acknowledged. My parents would occasionally say thank you, but it always felt perfunctory. Derek never acknowledged my help at all, just took the money and moved on. Amber would text heart emojis and promises to pay me back when she made it big. The truth was, I'd become invisible except when someone needed something. Family gatherings were full of stories about Derek's latest business idea, Amber's most recent audition, my parents' retirement plans. Nobody asked about my work, my life, my achievements. I was just Cassie, the reliable one, the ATM in the corner that everyone visited when they needed a withdrawal. 3 months ago, something shifted. Derek announced he was planning a huge 30th birthday party. Rented out a restaurant, invited 60 people, was going all out to celebrate the milestone. He called me to tell me about it. It's going to be epic, Cass. Everyone's coming. Mom and Dad are helping with costs, but it's going to be the party of the year. Sounds great. When is it? 3 weeks from Saturday. You'll be there, right? Of course. Cool. Oh, and heads up, we're not doing a gift table. I've asked everyone to just contribute to my new business venture instead of bringing presents. There's a link where people can invest. Another business? Yeah, this one's different. It's a luxury car detailing service. Mobile, high-end, targeting wealthy clients. I've got the whole thing planned out. How much are you asking people to invest? Minimum 500, but I'm hoping for more from people who can afford it. You know, like you. There it was. Not would you like to invest or I'd appreciate your support? Just the expectation that I would, of course, contribute significantly because I always did. I'll think about it, I said. Come on, Cass. 500 is nothing for you. And this business is actually going to work this time. I've learned from my mistakes. I said I'll think about it. He hung up, sounding annoyed that I hadn't immediately agreed. I spent the next 3 weeks thinking about my family. About 12 years of being taken for granted. About $320,000 given, and never acknowledged. About being treated like a resource, instead of a person. I decided I would give Derek a birthday gift. But not money for his business venture. Something else. Something that would matter. I bought a watch. Not expensive, about $200. Simple, classic design. Nothing flashy. But meaningful, because Derek had always complained he could never find a good watch that wasn't too expensive. More importantly, that watch represented something. It represented me showing up with a personal, thoughtful gift instead of just money. It represented me participating in his celebration as a sister, not as a bank. I had the watch engraved on the back, to Derek. Time is the most valuable thing we give. Cassie, the message was deliberate. Time was valuable. And I'd been giving him my time, my money, my energy for years. This watch was a symbol of all of that. A reminder that relationships weren't just about financial transactions. I showed up to his party with the wrapped watch. The restaurant was packed. Derek held court at the center of everything, his wife beside him, our parents beaming with pride. I found a seat near the back. Nobody seemed to notice I'd arrived. After about 20 minutes, Mom saw me and waved. Cassie, you made it. Did you contribute to Derek's business fund? I brought a gift. Oh, honey. He asked people not to bring gifts. Just investments in the business. Nana West. I brought a gift anyway. She looked slightly annoyed but moved on to greet other guests. Midway through the party, Derek stood up to make a speech. Thanked everyone for coming. Talked about how blessed he was to have such a supportive family. Mentioned how his new business was going to change everything, how he'd learned from past failures, how this time would be different. And I want to thank everyone who's already invested in my vision, he said, raising his glass. Your faith in me means everything. To new beginnings. Everyone cheered. I sat quietly in the back, sipping water. After the speech, Derek started opening the cards people had given him. Most contained checks or printouts of online investment contributions. 500 here, 1,000 there. He announced each amount with gratitude, making a show of appreciation. Then he got to my wrapped box. Oh, this is from Cassie, he said, reading the tag. My sister, everyone. The successful engineer. He said it with a slight edge, like my success was something to be acknowledged but also resented. He opened the box. Pulled out the watch. Looked at it for a moment. The room had gone quiet, waiting for his reaction. He turned the watch over, read the engraving and laughed. Not a warm laugh. A mocking one. A watch, he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Cassie got me a watch. He looked around the room, making eye contact with various guests, building up to something. Is this your way of trying to compensate because no one in this family actually needs you? The room erupted in laughter. His friends howled. Amber actually slapped the table. Even my parents smiled indulgently, like Derek had made a clever joke. I sat there, my face burning, watching everyone laugh at me. Derek continued, playing to his audience now. I mean, thanks for the $200 watch, Cass, really thoughtful. But I was kind of hoping for, actual support, like everyone else gave. But hey, at least you showed up. More laughter. Someone in the back yelled, "Burn!" I stood up. Everyone's attention turned to me. I walked to the front of the room where Derek stood holding the watch. The laughter died down as people sensed something was about to happen. I reached out my hand. Give it back, What, the watch? Give it back. Cassie, come on, I was just joking. You said no one in this family needs me. You're right. So give me back the watch. He looked uncertain now, realizing maybe he'd gone too far. But his pride wouldn't let him back down in front of 60 people. It's a gift. You can't take back a gift. You just told everyone it was worthless and mocked me for giving it, so clearly it's not a gift you want. Give it back. The room was completely silent now. Derek backed into a corner, handed me the watch. I took it, looked around at all the faces watching me, and said 5 words, good to know. I'm done. I walked out of the restaurant. Behind me I heard my mother call my name. Heard confused murmuring. But I kept walking. I got in my car and drove home. By the time I arrived, I had 12 missed calls and 23 text messages. Derek, Cass, come on, it was a joke. Don't be so sensitive. Mom, Cassandra, you embarrassed Derek at his party. Come back and apologize. Amber, Cassie, you're being so dramatic. It was funny. Lighten up. Dad, your brother was just having fun. Don't make this a big deal. I ignored all of them. Instead, I spent the evening going through my financial records. Every loan, every gift, every time I'd paid for something for someone in my family. $327,400 over 12 years. I created a detailed spreadsheet. Date, amount, person, purpose. Everything documented. Including the loans that were supposed to be repaid but never were. Then I drafted an email. To my parents, Derek and Amber. For 12 years I've provided financial support to this family. The attached spreadsheet documents every dollar. $327,400. I did this because I love you and wanted to help. Tonight, Derek publicly mocked me for giving him a thoughtful gift instead of money. He said no one in this family needs me. Mom told me I embarrassed him and should apologize. None of you defended me. None of you saw anything wrong with how I was treated. So I'm taking Derek's words seriously. If this family doesn't need me, then I'm done providing financial support. Effective immediately, I will not be giving any more money to anyone for any reason. I will not be co-signing any more loans. I will not be investing in any more business ventures. I will not be covering any more emergency expenses. The $327,000 I've already given is a gift. I don't expect repayment. But there will be no more. If you need me for something other than money, I'm still your daughter and sister. But the bank is closed. Cassie, I hit send before I could second guess myself. The response was immediate and explosive. Derek called within 5 minutes. I didn't answer. His voicemail, Cassie, what the fuck? You can't be serious. I was joking. You're really going to blow up our relationship over a joke. Call me back. Mom called next. I let that go to voicemail too. Cassandra, this is unacceptable. You can't punish the entire family because your feelings were hurt. Derek apologizes, okay? He went too far. But this email is cruel and unnecessary. Call me immediately. Amber sent a long text. Cassie, you're being ridiculous. Derek was drunk and stupid. He didn't mean it. But you're actually going to cut off the whole family financially over this? That's really low. We've always supported you emotionally. Just because we're not rich like you doesn't mean we don't matter. Dad's message was shorter. Disappointed in you, Cassandra. Family doesn't keep score like this. I didn't respond to any of them. I turned off my phone and went to bed. The next morning I had 67 new messages and 42 missed calls. I read through them selectively. The tone had shifted from anger to panic. Mom, Cassie, please call me. We need to talk about the house situation. What house situation? I dug deeper into her messages. Apparently my parents had refinanced their house to help fund Derek's new business venture. They'd planned to make the mortgage payments with money they were expecting from my usual contributions. Without my help, they couldn't afford the payments. Derek's messages were increasingly desperate. Cass, I'm sorry, okay? I'm really sorry. I was an asshole. Please call me back. This business launch depends on some funding I was counting on. He'd been counting on another $20,000 from me. Amber, Cassie, I need to talk to you. My lease is up next month and I was planning to use some money you usually help with to cover the deposit on a new place. Please call me. She'd been counting on $5,000. My father, Cassandra, your mother is very upset. Whatever point you're trying to make has been made. Let's move past this. I turned my phone off again. 3 days later, my mother showed up at my apartment. I saw her on the security camera but didn't buzz her up. After 20 minutes, she left. A week after the party, my entire family showed up at my door on a Saturday morning. All of them. Mom, Dad, Derek and his wife, Amber and her boyfriend. This time I answered. "We need to talk," my father said, trying to sound authoritative. "Okay, talk. Can we come in?" I thought about it. "No." "Say whatever you need to say from the hallway." My mother's eyes were red from crying. "Cassie, please. This has gone on long enough. Derek made a mistake. He apologized. Can't we move past this? Has he apologized?" "I haven't heard from him except messages about money he was counting on." Derek stepped forward. "I'm sorry, Cassie." "I am. I was drunk. I was showing off. I was an idiot. I'm genuinely sorry for what I said." "Do you remember what you said? That you were trying to compensate because no one needs you?" "I didn't mean it." "Didn't you?" "Because it seems like the only time anyone in this family contacts me is when they need money. So maybe you were more honest than you realized." "That's not fair," Amber interjected. "We love you. We care about you. Just because we're not rich doesn't mean we don't value you for who you are. When was the last time any of you asked me about my life? My job? My interests? Anything that wasn't about what I could do for you?" Silence. That's what I thought. My father tried a different approach. "Cassandra, I understand you're hurt. But this scorched earth approach is hurting people. Your mother and I are facing serious financial problems because of commitments we made based on your usual support." "Usual support," I repeated. "You mean the $327,000 I've given this family over 12 years? That usual support? We're grateful for that. You've never acted grateful. You've acted entitled. Like my success was a family resource you could all draw from whenever you wanted." "We're family," my mother said. "That's what families do. They help each other. Except I've only ever seen the help going one direction. When was the last time any of you helped me with anything?" More silence. "I've had a successful career for 12 years. Not once has anyone asked if I needed help with anything. Not once has anyone celebrated my promotions or my achievements except to think about what it meant for them." Derek's wife, who'd been quiet until now, spoke up. "Cassie, I get that you're hurt. But people are depending on you. Derek's business is about to launch. Your parents might lose their house. Amber needs help with her housing. You can't just cut everyone off because your feelings were hurt. Watch me. That's incredibly selfish." "Is it? I have been funding everyone else's lives for over a decade. Apparently that doesn't count. But the moment I stop, I'm selfish." "Interesting logic." My father's voice rose. "You're being a child. Throwing a tantrum because of one stupid comment." It wasn't one comment. It was one comment in front of 60 people that nobody defended me from. It was years of being taken for granted. It was being valued only for my money. That's not a tantrum. That's a wake-up. "Oh, that way. So, what do you want?" my mother asked, desperation in her voice. "An apology." "Find out one the lady. We're all sorry. We should have treated you better. We should have appreciated you more. Can we please move forward now?" "That depends. Are you sorry you hurt me? Or are you sorry you're facing financial consequences?" The question hung in the air. My mother started crying. "Both. I'm sorry for both. But Cassie, please, we need help. We're going to lose the house." "Why did you refinance the house?" "To help Derek's business. He needed capital, and you gave it to him because you always give him what he needs. Just like you funded his first failed business. And his second. And paid for Amber's New York adventure. And every other dream and whim and win in this family has had. Using my money to do it." "That's not fair," Derek protested, "isn't it?" "Mom, Dad, show me your bank statements from the last 3 years." "What? Your bank statements?" "Show me where my contributions went." My father's face reddened. "That's private, show me. Because I'm betting if we look at them, we'll see that most of the money I gave you for household expenses and emergencies actually went to funding Derek's businesses and Amber's lifestyle." Nobody said anything. That's what I thought. "You've been using me as a pass-through?" taking my money and redistributing it to my siblings while telling them it came in from you. So they think you're the generous ones and I'm just the rich sister who doesn't help. My mother's face confirmed it. Get out, I said quietly. Cassie, all of you. Get out. And don't come back unless you're ready to have an actual relationship with me that isn't about money. They left. My mother was sobbing. My father was angry. Derek looked panicked. Amber seemed stunned. I closed the door and stood in my apartment, shaking but relieved. The next few weeks were brutal. Messages ranged from apologetic, to manipulative, to outright hostile. My mother, I had a heart attack scare today. The stress of possibly losing our home is killing me. But I'm glad you're comfortable. Derek. My business launch is ruined. Investors pulled out when they heard about family drama. Hope you're happy. Amber, I'm moving back home because I can't afford NYC anymore. My dreams are dead because my sister decided to have a tantrum. My father, you've destroyed this family over your own pride. I hope it was worth it. I didn't respond to any of them. Then, about a month after the birthday party, I got a message from an unexpected source. Derek's wife, Michelle. Cassie, can we talk? Just you and me. No Derek, no family. I need to tell you something. We met for coffee. She looked exhausted. I owe you an apology, she said immediately. A real one. For what? For not understanding what was happening, for calling you selfish, for thinking you were overreacting. She pulled out her phone and showed me something. I didn't know about this. It was a spreadsheet, similar to mine. But this one tracked Derek's spending over their 3-year marriage. He's been telling me for 3 years that his parents give him money for the businesses, that they're supportive and invested in his success. But after your birthday party drama, I started digging. Your parents haven't given him a dime in years. It was all you. I nodded. $170,000 from you to Derek over 12 years. For businesses, for emergencies, for investments. He never told me. He let me think. His parents were wealthy and generous, when really it was his sister funding everything while he mocked her. Did you know about the birthday party comment before he said it? No. But I should have stopped him when he did. I should have said something. Instead, I laughed along with everyone else because I didn't understand the context. She looked genuinely remorseful. I'm sorry. Thank you. He's drowning now, she continued. The business launch fell through. Not because of you pulling funding, but because he was never organized enough to pull it off. He was counting on your money to cover his lack of actual planning. Without it, the whole thing collapsed. That's not my fault. I know. And I told him that. I also told him I'm not going to be part of a family that treats people like ATMs. I'm leaving him. I looked at her in surprise. I married someone I thought was ambitious and entrepreneurial. Turns out he's just entitled and lazy, living off his sister's success while insulting her. That's not who I want to be married to. 2 months after the party, things had settled into a new normal. My phone was quiet. My family had stopped calling. The desperate messages had tapered off. I heard through the grapevine that my parents had sold their house and downsized to a small condo. Derek had gotten a regular job, his business dreams on hold indefinitely. Amber had moved back home, working retail while auditioning locally. Nobody had apologized. Not really. Not in the way that meant they understood what they'd done wrong. Then I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten, from my mother. Dear Cassie, I've spent the last 2 months in therapy. Your father and I both have. We've been working through a lot of things about our family, our parenting, our values. Our therapist asked us to make a list of all the times we asked you for help versus all the times we offered you help. The difference was staggering and shameful. She also asked us to calculate how much money you've given us over the years. We knew it was substantial, but we'd never added it up. $327,000 is more than we'll make in several years combined. We took that money and barely thanked you. We redistributed it to your siblings and let them think it came from us. We made you invisible while taking credit for your generosity. And then we let Derek mock you publicly without saying a word. I don't blame you for cutting us off. I wouldn't want a relationship with us either. I'm writing not to ask for anything but to tell you something. You were right. About all of it. We've been terrible parents to you. We took advantage of your success and your generous nature. We treated you like a resource instead of a daughter. I'm sorry. Your father is sorry, though he's too proud to write his own letter yet. We're working on that in therapy. If you never want to speak to us again, I understand. But I wanted you to know that we finally see what we did. And we're ashamed. Love, Mom. I read the letter 3 times. It was the first real acknowledgement I'd gotten from any of them. I didn't respond immediately. I sat with it for a week, thinking about what I wanted. Finally, I wrote back. Mom, thank you for your letter. I appreciate the honesty. I don't know if we can repair our relationship. The damage is extensive and goes back years. But I'm willing to try, slowly, if certain conditions are met. No more financial requests. Ever. From anyone in the family. No more excuses for Derek's or Amber's behavior. They're adults who need to face consequences. Family therapy. All of us together with a professional mediator. Time. Lots of time to rebuild trust. If you can agree to those terms, we can start having coffee once a month and see where it goes. Cassie, she responded the next day, agreeing to everything. We've had coffee 3 times now. It's awkward and painful, and sometimes we sit in silence because nobody knows what to say. But it's progress. Derek sent me a message last week. I got it now. What I did. How I treated you. I'm sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me. But I'm sorry. It's not enough yet. But it's something. Amber hasn't reached out. I hear she's angry still, blaming me for her having to move home and abandon her New York dreams. Maybe someday she'll understand. Maybe not. I still have the watch. It sits on my desk. A reminder that sometimes the most valuable thing you can give someone is boundaries. Your generosity is not an obligation to be exploited. Your success is not a family bank account. And when people show you that they only value you for what you provide, believe them and act accordingly. If you made it this far, you understand what it's like to be taken for granted by the people who should value you most. Hit that subscribe button for more stories about people who learn to stop being used. Drop a comment about the moment you realized your family only wanted what you could give them. Your awakening matters. Hit like if you believe family should add to your life, not drain it. And share this with someone who needs to hear that cutting off toxic family members isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. Remember, the people who call you selfish for having boundaries are usually the ones who benefited most from you having none. And sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is taking back what was never appreciated. Until next time, this is Cassandra, reminding you that the watch I took back wasn't about the watch at all. It was about finally valuing myself enough to stop giving to people who would never see my worth.